Shalom, shalom. We continue in Maseches Taanis. We are on Daf Yud Amud Beis, on 10b, on the very first line. And just yesterday, we were getting out of a discussion about fasting during the time when the rain isn't falling. And this is the majority discussion of the Masechta. This is the main topic. It's why the Masechta is called Taanis, or as it's known in Yerushalmi, Ta'anios, the plural of Taanis, because it's a series of fast days that we do when it starts raining. And just yesterday, we spoke about the first set of fast days, which only the Yechidim, the special individuals, only they do. And that's the most lenient set of fast days. And as more time would go on in the year, in the rainy season, and rain wouldn't be falling, more and more people would have to fast, and the fast would get more and more stringent. But until now, only Yechidim had to fast. That's what we have so far. And with that, we're going to get right into the Gemara. Tana Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, Al Yomar Adam Talmid Ani. A person should not say that I'm a Talmid, and Eini Ra'oi Lios Yachid. It's not fitting for me to be a Yachid. Ela kol Talmidei Chachamim Yechidim. But all Talmidei Chachamim, all the students, are Yechidim. So the Gemara asks the question, Ezehu Yachid ve'ezehu Talmid. What's the difference between a Yachid and a Talmid? Yachid kol Shirai Limnoso Parnes Ala Tzibur. A Yachid is anybody who's worthy to sustain the entire community with his vast Torah knowledge, and he can answer any halachic question in what we would call today a posek. That's a Yachid. And Talmid, what's a Talmid? Kol Sheshalin also Dvar Halacha B'limudo v'omer. It's whoever can be asked the question in halacha, in the thing that he's learning, and he can give the answer. Va'afilu b'meseches dikala, and even in a very small mesechta, even in a very or meseches kala, which is another one of the minor mesechtos that a person can learn. Even in such a small mesechta, if he can answer the halachic questions in that mesechta, he is considered a Talmid. So the Gemara is saying here that a person shouldn't say, no, I'm just a Talmid, I'm not a Yachid, I'm just going to learn my Chumash, my Rashi, I'm a Pashut Yid. No, try to conquer everything, learn every part of Torah, and know it well enough so you can answer questions on your own. Don't have misplaced humility in this topic. Be a conqueror. Try to get and try to learn as much as you can, and strive to be a Yachid. Don't settle for being a Talmid. That's an important idea we learn from this Gemara right here. We go on. Tana Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, Lo kol harotze la'asos atzmo yachid oseh. It's not the case that anybody who wants to make themselves a yachid can do so. Talmid oseh. But if you want to make yourself a Talmid, anybody can do that. Divrei Rabbi Meir. That's according to Rabbi Meir. And Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Yossi disagrees. He says oseh v'zocher latov. He should do it and should be remembered for good. Levi she'ein shevach lo, because this is not an advantage, it's not something to be praised about. El tsar hulo. This is something very painful. So if anybody wants to say, I'm a Yachid in this case, I want to do the first fasts and go along, then according to Rabbi Meir, you can't do that unless you are actually a Yachid. But according to Rabbi Yossi, anybody can do it, and it's pain, it's not a praise, it's not getting more respect for oneself, so therefore a person is allowed to do that. Tanya Idach, we have another brisa. Lo kol harotze la'asos atzmo yachid oseh. Not anybody who wants to make themselves Yachid can do it. Talmud oseh, but anybody can make themselves a Talmud. Divrei Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, that's according to Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, Bamed Dvar Amurim. What are we referring to over here? Badavar shel shevach, regarding something which is praiseworthy. Aval badavar shel tsar, but for a thing that's very painful. Oseh v'zocher latov. Anybody can do it and be remembered positively. She'ein shevach hulo, because this is not praiseworthy. El tsar hulo. This is something which is painful. This is not accepting additional kibudim. It's not saying give me the third aliyah to the Torah and call my name when they thank everybody in shul. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about fasting and davening for more rain. That anybody can do, and anybody can consider themselves a yachid for that. Tana Rabbanan, we went to the brisa. Mi shehaya mit'ana al hatzara ve'avra. Anybody who was fasting for some bad thing and the bad thing passed. Al hachol avin isrape, or on a sick person, and the sick person got healed. He's fasting and he's davening, and that very day he says, I'm going to fast for next 24 hours, or the next 12 hours from Shachris until Mariv. And then the person goes to the doctor at 3 p.m. and this person comes out and says, I'm healed. The doctor says it's a miracle. It's unbelievable. I'm healed. Does the person have to continue fasting? Nevertheless, he has to complete and finish the fast that he started. A person who goes from a place which was not fasting to another place which was fasting, he has to fast with the people in the city that he arrived at later in the day. If he goes from a place where the people are fasting to a place where they're not fasting, he nevertheless has to finish the fast that he began. If he forgot, he drank, and he ate, he should not show it in front of the congregation, in front of the people. And he shouldn't eat a lot of delicious food by himself in private. As it says in the pasuk, Vayomer Yaakov Levanav, Yaakov said to his children, Lama titra'u, why are you showing yourselves? Why do you look at each other? And this was during the time when the famine had hit that entire part of the world, as Yosef had told Paro that there are going to be 7 years of plenty and then 7 years of famine. Once the famine hit, the Bnei Yisrael, or Yaakov's family, they weren't suffering from the famine. They had enough food for themselves. So they ate a lot and they were fine. Yaakov said, don't show this off to your neighbors. That's not okay. Your neighbors are suffering. You can't show that you have lots of food. That's not okay to do. So when a person is not fasting and everyone else around him is fasting, for whatever reason, it's not okay to show that off and to eat in a ostentatious manner. Amar lehem Yaakov Levanav, Yaakov was telling to his children, Al tiru atzmechem kisha'atem sevein. Don't show off yourselves and show that you're very full. Lo b'fnei Esav, lo b'fnei Yishmael. Not in front of the children of Esav and not in front of the children of Yishmael. Kadei shelo yiskanu b'chem, so that they shouldn't be very envious of you. So 2 ways of reading this, either so that they don't attack us or that we don't make them feel bad, because that's also not okay. So 2 ways of understanding this Gemara, and pick your choice, however you wish to understand it. Al tergezu baderach. Don't become angry on the road. This is what Yosef told the brothers when they left him to go back to Yaakov. He said, when you're walking on the road, don't talk to each other about whose fault it was, who sold me. It doesn't matter now. It's all water under the bridge. Don't be agitated. Just get home, bring our father and the whole family, and come back down here to Mitzrayim. Amar Rabbi Eliezer said, Amar lehem Yosef le'achav. Yosef was telling his brothers, Al tis'asku b'dvar halacha. Don't be engaging in matters of halacha. So it's a very midrashic reading. It's not pshat at all what Yosef is telling them, but he's interpreting in a drash way. Don't engage in halacha. Shema tirgezu alechem haderech. Because maybe if you get too involved in the halacha, you'll get lost. You're lost on the way. So, is that really the case? Did Yosef tell his brothers to not learn halachos, not learn Torah when they were walking on the road? V'amar Rav Ilai bar Brecha would say, Shnei Talmidei Chachamim shemehalchim b'derech, that if 2 Talmidei Chachamim are traveling together, ve'ein beinehem divrei Torah, and they're not discussing Torah as they travel, ru'oyin lisarif, they deserve to be burnt. Shneimar, as it says, Vahi hema holchim v'davar, they were walking, they were talking. This is from Melachim Beis, Perek Beis, where Eliyahu and Elisha, Eliyahu was Elisha's Rebbe, they were walking together and they were talking. V'hine rachav eish v'susei eish. There was a chariot and horses of fire, and it separated the 2 of them. And then that Perek in Tanakh goes on to say that the fire, the horse and the chariot took Eliyahu and he went up to Shemayim, and he never died. And so that's how he left this world, by being taken in a chariot of fire up to heaven. That's Melachim Beis, Perek Beis. So again, a drash understanding of this pasuk. Taima de'ikr dibur. The reason was because there was dibur, there was speech, they were talking. Haleka dibur, but if they weren't talking, meaning if they weren't discussing Torah, ru'in lisaref, then they would have been worthy of being burnt alive. So we see that discussing Torah as you travel is a very important thing. How could Yosef have told the brothers not to discuss halacha when they were traveling? Lo kasha, it's not a problem. Ha lemigras, ha le'uyine. One is referring to simple review of things you know already, very light, easy psukim, easy halachos. And the other is iyune, to diving deep into the intricacies of halacha and this opinion, that opinion. So the first opinion, the first way of learning, you won't get lost on the road. It's just review, it's simple, it's easy. The second way of learning, that's what Yosef was telling his brothers not to do. it's too intense, it's too in depth, and they might get lost. B'masnisa Tana, we learned in a Mishnah, Al tafsiu psia gasa, that a person should not take very wide steps. V'hechnisu cham al ha'ir, and he should enter with the sun to the city, or bring the sun to the city, literally. Al tafsiu psia gasa, a person should not take wide steps. Damar Mar, as Mar said, psia gasa natelas echad mechamesh meos mimor einav shel adam, that taking wide steps lowers a person's vision by 1/500. That's how much his eyesight is lessened by taking these wide steps. It's harder to see when a person is running or jumping too far. A person should walk a little bit more carefully and watch where he's going. And he should enter with the sun to the city. Kid Rav Yehuda Amarav, as Rav Yehuda said in the name of Rav. Dam Rav Yehuda Amarav, La'olam Yetze Adam B'chitov. A person should always go when it's good. And Chitov, Tov is what Hashem, the word, is referring to sunlight here. That's what it's referring to. The Taanis b'chitov, and he should enter with the good, with the sunlight. Shnamar, as it says, haboker or ha'anashim shalchu. That when the morning light came up, the men left. That's when the brothers left Yosef, when the sun came up. So it's still talking about that story. But this teaches us that we should only leave and be traveling when it's light out. And obviously traveling in the dark, very, very dangerous, especially if we understand the kind of traveling that they would have to do at the time. And for more details on this, just look at the text of the bracha. We say Tfilas Haderech, to get kind of the idea of why it was so dangerous to travel after the sun had went down. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rabbi Chia, Hamahalich Baderech, if someone goes on the road, Al Yochal Yoter Mishnei Ra'avon, should not eat more than he would eat during years of famine. Meaning he should eat very little when he's traveling. My time, what's the reason? Some explain, or over there, or rather over here in Bavel, we understand it because of the intestinal issues, that it might upset a person's stomach if he's eating too much while he's traveling and walking. And b'ma'arava amri, in Israel, they would explain mishum mizone, because of a person needs to have a certain amount of food with him. He doesn't want to run through all his provisions and have no food on the journey. My Bainahu, what's the difference between these two opinions? Ike Bainahu, the following is between them. The Yasiv Ba'arba, if someone is sitting on a ship, because if a person can eat while he's sitting, generally these kinds of intestinal problems won't affect him, and it won't be an issue if he's sitting on a ship. Now, of course, the ship is rocking and there is seasickness, but I guess the Gemara wasn't as concerned with that as a certain kind of disease a person gets when they eat, when they walk, or when they're standing. Inami, another difference between the two opinions, the ka'azil me'avna la'avna. If a person is traveling from one station to another station, from one inn to another inn, and if a person is traveling in that way, there's no concern that he's going to run out of provisions because he can always just buy more food at the next stop. But there still is the problem of the intestinal issues. But if a person is traveling from city to city, then according to the Babylonians, who said it's intestinal issue, there still would be a problem. According to the Israelis, who said it's because of running out of food, then there would not be a problem. And finally, we finish off with Rav Papa. With Rav Papa, called Parsa v'Parsa Achil Chada Rifta. Every single Parsa, he would eat a whole loaf of bread, kasavar, or a whole slice of bread, kasavar mishum ma'aina. And he held that it is because of the intestinal problems, that's why he wouldn't eat. He would not eat so much. Okay. That's our Amud. Hope that was clear. We continue tomorrow with 11a, Yud Aleph, Amud Aleph. I hope that was clear, and hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.